Jeff Dunham's parking lot.
Well, that's my parking lot where there's no employees because this COVID thing's a mess. So you know what my wife and I've been doing?
What's that?
We've been playing Amazon. We've been packing stuff ourselves and shipping it out.
Isn't that the worst?
Yeah. Including these. I noticed you had a Funko Pop, so I wanted to talk about Funko Pops for a second because
let's go,
dude. We look exactly the same.
So basically, Funko Pop designers like, oh, Jeff Dunham just put hair on Jo Koy's.
Right. Or no, or Gabriel. I look like Gabriel Iglesias too. So.
Yeah. So when they did Gabriel Iglesias, they're like, hey, just give Jeff Dunham some chihuahuas, and it's Gabe.
and a Volkswagen van.
And a Volkswagen van.
Yeah, and then they didn't even bother changing the skin tone, I don't think.
No. It's just one. It's just one color. Look at mine.
Oh, it's Jeff Dunham.
It's Jeff Dunham. I got Jeff Dunham right here.
Hold on, wait. I got to take mine out of the box. Now I've lost the money. Hold on. Look, it's Jo Koy with a puppet.
That's right. Holy shit, that is.
Why don't they go ahead and make them bobbleheads?
Oh my God, let me just get Peanut. I should put Peanut right here.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's
there.
great, man.
That's great.
I love it.
You know what they did though? Look at his eyes. They made him like the dead eyes.
He has no soul.
Yep.
Oh my God. I love you, Jeff.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks. I appreciate it. So yeah, thanks for having me. This is great. So when's your book coming out?
My book comes out March. Wait a minute. Are you interviewing me? Is this the Jeff Dunham podcast?
I learned that a long time ago, how to throw the interviewer off. Is that's what I did to what's his name? Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. The black dude, bald hair. He's everywhere. He does everything. Game shows.
Oh, Steve Harvey.
Yeah, Steve Harvey. So
yeah.
I was on his show, and we sat down, and I had the dummy on the floor, ready to do a whole bit, everything. So we sat down. And he goes, so Jeff, and I go, Steve, so what was it like in the Kings of Comedy? Were you guys partying all the time? And all we did was talking about Steve being on the road with the Kings of Comedy.
Oh, that's great, man. Did you see, that's Andre, by the way, that's my brother-in-law.
What?
Right there, you see Andre? Do you have all your cameras up?
Oh no, I don't. How do I do that?
Who did you talk to earlier?
Swipe.
Can you get any older? Can you get any older?
Did you think I was just a voice coming from somewhere earlier?
No, I saw him earlier, and then he disappeared when Andre disappeared when Joe's like, never mind, I got it now.
Let's talk about how you live on a property that actually has no parking signs in front of your spots.
I'm at the warehouse. I'm not at my house.
So you're just like Gabriel. Gabriel stays at the warehouse all the time.
Wow. No, I have a life.
Yeah. But Gabe's house is sick. Gabe has a warehouse that he turned into he's got all those Volkswagens. So it's like a museum. Then he has his office there. And then he has his house. It's amazing. I want to buy a warehouse.
So that's where he really does live there?
Yeah, he's got the but it's huge though. It's massive. It's amazing. And I've never been there. I've only seen video of it.
Like how big is it?
Massive. It's the size of like a warehouse that he just turned into everything. His business, his houses, everything. His kitchen.
Does he not? Is there no longer a woman in his life? That's just sad.
No, what are you talking about? Look at you. You're at your warehouse right now.
Yeah, and my wife is 100 feet away packing boxes. All our employees got COVID, so we had to fire everyone, and now we're packing boxes ourselves.
You got COVID and you fired them?
I know. I guess
dare you?
That's against the law. No,
that's against the law, Jeff. No, you would never do anything like that.
No, I would never do any of that. But yeah, everyone's not here now, and so we said, "Don't worry, we got it for now." So, honest to God, we take our twin boys to school in the morning, and 5-year-old boys to their little preschool thing. And we sit here and she gets on the computer and my daughter here is here. She's 20 something. So we're just sitting there packing boxes. I need to make a little card that's, we're sending out t-shirts and bobbleheads and these things.
Yes.
I should make a little card that says packed by Jeff Dunham.
Yeah, you should. You should. That would be the greatest thing to ever receive in the mail. And like those little miniature Polaroids. Have your daughter, that's all she does, just take Polaroid of each box that you stuff, and then you put that Polaroid in there and it's signed. That'd be so sick.
Wouldn't that be awesome? I just said they're like this. I got a Polaroid. We should do that. That's really fun. But you know how expensive? Wait, screw that. It's like $5 to take one Polaroid
Jeff,
picture.
stop it. Stop it. I can't even... Don't even. I know how much you're charging on this, and I know exactly how much it costs to make. Throw a Polaroid in there.
That's actually a really great idea.
I think you should do it. I think people would love that. It'll be a nice surprise for the holidays. You don't have to do it all year. Just do it for the holidays. It'll be that extra bonus that someone gets.
Those people would be fans forever.
Ever. Well, they already are. Your fans are amazing. You have a cult following. And I know people don't like to say that, but it is beautiful to see just how relevant you are through the times. Like it's never stopped. It just keeps going. I remember watching it on A&E Evening at the Improv with Peanut, and and loving you then, and then just seeing your rise from that to like arenas in
I appreciate
in every country.
Well, that's I appreciate it, and that's how I know that we're living in the simulation. And here's my argument. Here's what I think. I think there's some guy and his son somewhere, and we're the video game that they're playing. This world. And
don't
and
blow
the son,
my mind right now. That's what I've been saying that. I've been saying that for like 2 weeks now, that we're part of the Matrix, and there's a guy he's playing my character right now, and he's run out of stuff so fast that he starts retyping the same thing. So like I'll say something like, I'll say donut, and then all of a sudden like I'll pass a Winchell's donut. I'm like, this guy's lazy. Whoever's writing this program is so lazy right now. But I feel that. I feel you on that.
Yeah.
We're part of this simulation. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you just freaked me out. And I feel like now the two guys that are writing our simulations are together, and they're going crazy right now.
Well, I think mine is being played by an idiot kid, because he said to his dad, Dad, I'm going to make a ventriloquist really famous. And he's going to be doing shows, not in like a little crummy club, but like lots of people in like an arena. And the father says, you're a moron, but yeah, try that. That'll never work.
That's so funny. Well, I watched your documentary, and I watched it a long time ago. And so I don't want you to think, oh, let me catch up on Jeff. No, I watched your documentary, and I don't know if it was a documentary or if it was an extra on a DVD. I don't know what it was that I was watching. I had no idea that, your love and your passion for ventriloquism was so deep. Like it was a part of your life growing up, that it's to the point where you even make your own puppets. Like people don't know this. Like, when you see somebody with like your puppets, they're like, oh yeah, he must have bought it and then he just gave it a voice. No, you single-handedly, it's a thought. It's an idea in your head, and then you create it, you mold it, and then you even the mechanics of it. You're even the person that does the mechanics of the puppet. And that's so amazing to know that part of you, that it's a lot deeper than just the guy on stage.
Well, thanks. It became a necessity though when I was in college, because I was constantly looking for that character that would define me. It would be that everyman character. It would be that Mel Blanc, Warner Brothers, they had Bugs Bunny. And then for Jim Henson, it was Kermit the Frog. And for, then Walt Disney is Mickey Mouse. So I'm not equating myself with them. I'm just saying, what is my going to be my number one character? And every ventriloquist since the beginning of time had a little boy dummy. And I got to find something else. So I started building my own characters, and because every time I paid somebody to do it, they wouldn't come out right. It's just not what you're thinking. It's like hiring somebody to do artwork for you. Can you imagine being a rich guy and having the family portrait painted by some famous artist, and they reveal it, and it's like, oh, that really sucks.
Yeah. Yes.
So it was kind of the same way. Somebody make something for me, I'd go, no, that's not it. So I just started building it myself. And but you know, the ventriloquism part of it for me has taken a back seat. It had to take a back seat when I moved out to Los Angeles in '88, and I started being at the Comedy Magic Club and following guys like Leno and like Seinfeld. And I realized I can do this ventriloquist trick thing for a little while, but it better start being funny, or at least make it funny to a lot of people. Otherwise, this isn't going to work for very long. It's like being a juggler. A juggler could not have a weekly show. You know what I mean? Because what's he going to do?
Yeah, it's like, all right, another fruit, pick it. Grapefruits? Right. Yeah.
So I look at the ventriloquism now as just a vehicle for the comedy, and I love what I do because instead of just doing monology, now I can have the ingredients of what comedy is, and that I can have tension, I can have conflict, I can have all that built into one. And that's why I think I can talk about subjects that some guys can't, because I can do point and counterpoint with the character. I can take the left, he can take the right, or vice versa. And then somebody walks away from the show going, I don't know exactly what he thinks.
Yeah, that's so cool that you said that, because you're so right. It's just like animation. It's like you can get away with so much with animation. You know, it could be the same family dynamic, but if you animate it, you can have unlimited amount of jokes and opinions. Whereas, you know, when it's real family situations, you got to be very PC but with your characters, it's so funny because the things that Walter says, you know,
right.
You couldn't say that on your own.
Trey Parker and those guys with South Park, man, that is just like, you sit there and watch it and go, oh, they did not do that.
Yeah. 100%. You're just like, they're getting away with murder, and we love it because it's like, of course he said that's Cartman.
Right.
He's allowed to say that about Chinese people. It's Cartman.
Yeah. Well, the one that got me was a repeat right before they did the pandemic special this season, and it was, I think, from '06. And of course, they're playing off what's going on in the news, and it was, you know, a student having sex with the teacher.
Yeah.
And you know, it ended up the kid that had sex ended up being Ike, which is Stan's little tiny baby brother.
Yes,
you know?
Yeah.
And so Stan gets all upset when he finds out, and he goes to the police station and says, there's a student having sex with the teacher. And the police are like, oh my gosh, okay, what, who is this young girl? And he goes, no, it's a boy having sex with a woman teacher. And the cops are like, oh, nice. It's like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah, and then Stan shows him a picture of the hot teacher, and the cops again are like, nice,
good, score.
Like, you can't do that,
right? That's another thing that's a cool comparison. It's like the times help that animation move forward, right? So whatever is happening at that time. Now, what I'm trying to get at is with you. You know, there was this time where you were doing your characters, but the time that you know, during the World Trade Centers and stuff, you created your character, and that took you to another level. Is that fair to say?
So yeah, when 9/11 came along, obviously nothing funny about it. It never will be. I even say this. I even say sometimes Titanic jokes. And Carson used to do that. He'd do a Lincoln. Carson would do a Lincoln joke, and the audience would just kind of laugh, and he'd go, "Oh, too soon." So you know, 9/11, not going to be funny ever for a long time. Anyway, but it was a year after 9/11, and I kind of looked to Leno and to Letterman. What were they making fun of? Well, they were making fun of those guys that did that. We didn't know where Osama bin Laden was. He hadn't been captured. We didn't know if he was dead. So they were making fun of him and those guys that did that. And so I thought, Osama bin Laden, well, I know where Osama bin Laden is. He's half dead, and he's hiding out with my characters in the box. And so I came out with this bumbling skeleton, and I actually went to a store, the first iteration. I went to a store and got this stupid Halloween decoration, kind of dressed him up, put the thing on his head, and put the beard on him. And I called him the Dead Osama. And I thought, I'm not going to chicken out. I'm not going to go, you know, to Hawaii or somewhere as far away as possible to try this out. I'm going to go to where it counts. And I sat down and I wrote jokes as if there were people who lost family members in 9/11, if they were in the audience, what are they willing to what do they want? What would make them laugh? How can I help them to move forward through this? What'll make them laugh? And so I wrote those jokes, and I went to a comedy club called Bananas. You probably remember it. There were a couple of them.
Yeah.
It was 6 miles from Ground Zero. It was 6 miles from Ground Zero. And I was pretty big in the comedy club world in those days. And I did, my 40 minutes and killed. It was a Friday night, the first time I had him there. And then I said, well, folks, there's one sentence we've all been waiting to hear, and that is Osama bin Laden is dead. And of course, the New York crowd went crazy. And I said, well, I have a surprise for you tonight. He's with us this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Osama bin Laden. And it was like God took a vacuum and stuck it in the roof of that building and sucked all the air out of it.
Really?
Because it was so quiet in there. It was like, I know these people were thinking, what has this asshole from California brought to show us now? Right? Yeah. So I bring out this bumbling skeleton and I start going through the jokes, and it couldn't have gone any better. And that's when I came out with the I kill you thing, which was ridiculously stupid. Yeah. And it went nuts. And from there, I used him for a few years until Osama bin Laden kind of got out of the news and was, yesterday's news because we hadn't found him to know where he was. Then one of my Comedy Central specials came along a few years later, and I said, I'll change him from one terrorist. Instead of offending one guy, I'm going to offend a whole group of dangerous people. So I changed him to Achmed. Yeah. And then went from there.
What year was that when that hit, Jeff? What year?
Well, I started doing the Dead Osama a year after 9/11, so that'd be 12. Wait, what year was it? 01, right? Wait.
01?
Wait, what year is it?
Hold on.
Was it
September
01?
11th?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
That's why I have Dre here. That's why I have Dre here.
I'm the fact checker.
Yeah, he fact checks. He's so good at it.
Yeah.
Right. He went like this, Jeff. He went,
Oh,
yeah. Should be good. So
yeah, September 11th, 2001. So it was 2002 that I came out with the Dead Osama. And I did it for a couple of years and then put him away. But then Spark of Insanity was my second Comedy Central special. And I brought out the Dead Osama, changed him to Achmed. And then I did that special in 07. And that's when things kind of went into the stratosphere. That's when I started getting death threats from all around the world. But that's because we came up with a song called Jingle Bombs. And that went nuts on YouTube. It was the perfect storm. YouTube, Comedy Central, people were ready, to laugh at that stuff. And not at 9/11, but at the idiot terrorists. And it all just kind of started happening. And that's when I went from theaters to the arenas.
Wow. That's amazing. That was the first viral for you? Would that be that first viral?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that video of Jingle Bombs was it was fighting for number 2 or number 3 of the most viewed videos on YouTube of all time, because people were posting my special everywhere. And I had a team of people getting those videos taken down because you wanted your views. But then there was one that somebody posted that was at 15 million. And I went, wait a second, let's leave that one there and see how high it'll go. It got up to like 78 million views, was like the number 2 or 3, up there with, what's his name? Bit my finger. What was that? You remember that?
Oh, Charlie bit my finger.
It was neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was neck and neck with that video.
No doubt.
Then the idiot who posted it started monetizing in an illegal way, and YouTube pulled it.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Of course. Let me capitalize on this bit that's not mine.
Exactly.
By the way, the person that had that bit of yours that went up to 78 million, he also has a Funko. It looks just like this.
Bastard.
So after that, like having that character blow up the way it did, right? Because I know each character that you make, you have such a personal bond with, right? You have to. It's you. It's a piece of you. It's your voice.
The characters that work, that's how it is. It's like an actor pulling from their past or from people that they know. Because for every character that succeeded, I have a couple that I have it. They're in a trunk, and I call it the trunk of what the hell was I thinking?
Yeah.
And there are two characters that did not work for me because, you know, Bubba J is my redneck. I grew up in Texas. Get that. I have a lot of that in me. I grew up with those guys. I get it.
Yeah.
Walter, what, you know, old white guy doesn't have a little bit of Walter. What person doesn't have a little bit of Walter in him? And then Peanut, this wacky, crazy thing that he is. And then, but here are the two characters that did. So all those guys I know, and I can ad lib with them. I can think like them. I can, it works. I can write their comedy. Here are the two characters that didn't work. I did a movie called, I mentioned it earlier, Dinner for Schmucks. And I played one of the schmucks, duh. And the character that I played was, I had built this female dummy that I really thought was my wife. And so went round and round with the lawyers before the movie to make sure that I could use Diane in my act after the movie. I mean, it was, you know how much money we spent with lawyers getting those rights and making sure it was okay.
Yeah.
So then I used her in the movie. Then I tried using her on stage. I talked to female comics. I started getting jokes. I could not figure out how a woman thought. And it did not work. I couldn't do it because in an ad lib situation or when I'm writing jokes, I go, I have no idea how a woman would respond. I have 3 daughters and, you know, a wife and an ex-wife. And it's like, fuck, I can't figure this out.
Yeah.
So then the other character, and I did this because I was trying to reverse it and make fun of racism. I created Sweet Daddy D, an African-American character that was my manager.
Yeah.
And I went to black comics and I said, I know you guys joke about white people behind our backs. Tell me some great white jokes. I want that dummy to talk to me that way and tell me those jokes.
Yeah.
So I got a few of those jokes, but I don't think anybody was being really honest with me. Because they weren't quite mean. The jokes weren't quite mean enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But I tried him on stage for a while. I studied Snoop Dogg like you wouldn't believe. Somebody come in my room and go, what are you doing? Yeah. In my garage, when I sculpted Sweet Daddy D, this is the weird part. And I love sculpting because I love the human face, but I got 8x10s. I printed 8x10s of every black actor that I thought had a cool face that I could sculpt from in a good way. I didn't want to make fun of anybody. I wanted this to be authentic and real. And I put the features in there that I thought made him look good. And again, I had every intention of making fun of racism to make it ridiculous, just to show how stupid it is. Yeah. I could never do that today. And I did it and it worked. And I used him in the special. And I actually made him a pimp, again, going off of Snoop Dogg, because that was cool at the time. I didn't know what I was doing, but I talked to other black comics and got their advice, used him on the show. He went fairly well. My managers were like, what are you doing? I go, just trust me on this. I want to make it work. But it was the same thing as Diane. When it came to the ad lib situation, I couldn't walk in those shoes. I couldn't be that guy. I have no idea. I'm this stupid white guy from Texas. I don't understand. You can't live that unless you've lived that. And so it was, I tried to be authentic and I gave it my best shot, but it was one show. And then I'm like, this is really dangerous territory. And I'm trying to do something good, but this could turn around and bite me in a big way. And plus I can't be authentic to it because I don't know what I'm doing.
Dude, I love that, what you said, man. You can't live that unless you live that. That's such a great quote, man. I love that. That's great. And it's cool. It's a lot of people don't recognize that, Jeff. You know what I mean? Some people don't understand what you just said. You know, what you have to live something in order for you to live it. And the reason why you identify with that is because your characters, you give it breath, man. You make it live. So it's like you can't make something live if you never lived it. And I love that you said that, man. That's so cool.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
But so anyway, it's and now it's the same way. It's when I create a character, I've learned so much from all that it's like I really have to. The latest character I've come up with now is I actually built him online during COVID. I showed people the process of how you go through it and what we did it, and I even had a naming contest. But I haven't used him on stage yet, obviously, because I've been on stage in 9 months, big stage. But I made him a millennial who's on his phone all the time. and lives in his parents' basement, all that stereotypical stuff. And so I'm having to talk to my kids and friends of kids of friends to try and figure that guy out. But I should
love
learn
that.
I should learn from my mistakes, but I think there's enough of this around me that I can make him work.
Yeah,
we
for
had
sure.
we had a naming contest online, and this guy came up with this name. We named him Earl, but it's spelled URL.
That's good.
Really good.
That's my son. That's my son. Right there. You said it. Look,
How old is your son?
He's 17. How old are your kids?
Oh, let's see. My oldest daughter is 28, and I just became a grandfather.
Oof.
And I got 28, 26, and 24. Is that right? No, 22, 24, and 28. That's it. And then
I love the fact that you name your kids, you say your kids' ages, and then you're not sure, and then you look around your warehouse as if they're. Is that right? Is that right? There's no one there, Jeff. Is that right?
There's a light. That's it. And then I have twin 5-year-old boys.
Oh, nice. Oh, you got kids. You young kids.
Yeah, I started over again. I have kids and grandkids that are almost the same age. So
I love it. They're gonna grow up together. That's so cool.
Yeah,
this is my brother uncle.
That's right. It is. It's so weird that they're.
Yes, that's so funny, dude. Jeff, when you wanted to be a comedian, right? Like it's like I try and explain to people, like when we were coming into this game, so much harder to get recognized, so much harder to get like a fan base going. Like, you know, I had to print out postcards. I had to put them on, you know, windshields at the mall and get kicked off, you know, by security. You know, get out of here. Like it was hard. Like now these kids get to make a video flyer and post it on Instagram for free. You know what I mean? And build their audience that way. Do you think if your kids get into this, do you feel like, I don't know if this is something you want them to get into, you know what I mean? Like it's a completely different time. And I don't know if it's going to be like as honest and as genuine as it was for when we built our fan base. I feel like now it's just.
When my daughters were growing up, I did everything I possibly could to keep them away from show business.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh my gosh. It's just, you know, you know what the odds of success are.
Yes.
I mean, if they want to, and my sons, if they want to get into performing, great. But man, it's just tough.
It's tough, man.
Yeah. And I don't know how comics, you know, you say they have the advantages, but they have so many disadvantages too now, because I wouldn't want to. I was talking to Leno about this, and there's a name, I just dropped it. Talking about this now, I wouldn't want to be coming up right now, because everybody can copy everything. You post it on you say one thing and you're done. Yeah. You know, even me talking about Sweet Daddy D right now is kind of dangerous about what I did.
Yeah.
But, you know, I wouldn't, it's amazing to me. But then you think about these guys that say these idiotic things, and it's like, are you trying, or do these stupid things? Are you trying to get attention? Are you trying to get press? Or are you that stupid?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I say sometimes. Maybe you are just an idiot. I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Will your heart always be, these are like dumb questions, I'm sorry, but it's something I've always wanted to ask, because my son was the biggest fan. I bought all your puppets, by the way. I bought all of them.
If you need more, if you need more, my wife's packing them.
As long as you put a Polaroid in it. But my son was a huge fan. And, I took him to, I think it was the amphitheater at Universal Studios. You remember when he played that?
Oh, wow.
Right? Did you play that one?
Yeah, that was years ago, right?
Yeah, it was years ago. My son's 17 now. So he was like, I think he was like 4 or 5 when I took him.
Holy crap. He must have learned something.
Oh, he loved it, man. And, he brought Walter with him.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I still have it. I still have all. I got Peanut, Walter. I got all of them.
Wow, thanks.
Yeah, man. And, it was just cool because it was this thing where I was sharing a moment with my son. I'm such a comic fan. And, and who, coming up, I have the A&E evening at the Improv sign at my house, you know what I mean? And it's just like, that was a part of my life, and watching that, and then watching you be a part of that, you know what I mean? Like, that was, you were such a staple on that show, you know what I mean? Like, you would always come on, like, I'd always see you. So sharing that moment with my son, like, yo, this is a guy I would watch, and I'm watching it with you, and you're a fan, and it was just like this moment. So yeah, man, like, Peanut was such a big part of my life. You know what I mean? So
wow, that's great.
My son is cool. Yeah, man, it's really cool. And how does it feel like, that's probably your guy, right? That's the one that's.
Yeah, that's the one that really broke out for me at first. And
but like your heart, like your heart is always with Peanut, right? It's like, that's your guy.
Well, yeah, it's weird though, but I wouldn't be sitting here right now talking to you if it hadn't been for Achmed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So, by the way, you said you have you have my puppets. Well, I have your Funko Pop. Look. Hold on.
I got the Jeff Dunham one. Look at this one.
I'm a bit angrier than this one.
Yes. That's so cool, man, that I got to share that moment. And I still have it. We have it in a chest. It was so funny. We were moving stuff out of the garage, and we opened it up, and they were all right there. All of them.
Oh, that's nice. What does he do now? Is he going to school now? What does he do?
Yeah, my son goes to school, and now he's he's really into music. So he's making beats, and so it's pretty amazing. It's really amazing to see. Yeah, and I can't wait.
That's what I tell my kids. If I don't care what they do, if they want to get into show business, whatever, I just tell them, just find that passion, find that one thing that you love, and do it better than anyone. Because to me, there's nothing more fascinating than finding someone who does something, and they've done it since they were a kid, and they love it. And I don't care if it's an opera singer or a guy laying bricks, because there's nothing more fascinating than watching a guy lay bricks who's done it for his entire life.
Yeah, man. That's so true.
It's a freaking art. You're like, how do you do that? Yeah. Well, because I've done it for 30,000 hours. That's how.
Yeah. That's you too, though. You had puppets your whole life, right?
Yeah. And again, the mechanics of doing the ventriloquist act, there's a lot going on there. It's a bit like flying a helicopter or some kind of sport or playing a musical instrument. Playing the guitar, to me, it just, I know so many people do it, but it just bewilders me to see like the lead guitarist on Avenged Sevenfold, for example. It's like, how do your fingers even do that? Well, it's because you've done it for 50,000 hours. That's how.
Yeah. And the same goes with you, But another one I wanted to ask is, like, were there times, because there was times where I wanted to quit stand-up. Like, this is my 31st year. And and there was times where I was like, I just want to quit. Like, I want to make my son happy, and maybe stand-up isn't going to do that for me. Like, I felt like I was always going to be, featuring for somebody or whatever. I always felt like that struggle. And how was it for you? Was there a time where you were just like, I think I just want to quit. Just want to stop.
I always loved what I did. And all those years in the comedy clubs, it was almost 20 years in comedy clubs. And I always felt like I was moving towards something slowly and up and slowly. Cause I've always of the belief in physics, whatever goes up fast comes down fast. And the biggest airplanes carrying the biggest loads have the longest runways, and they take the longest to get off the ground. So I always that always encouraged me. The one time that I really questioned was right before I had my first Comedy Central special. And this was in 2005. I had gotten to the top of the comedy club feeding chain. I'd been there for a while, selling out clubs here and there, but I couldn't break through that glass ceiling. Yeah. I couldn't break through the ice. Nobody would take me seriously. Nobody would give me a television special. I got the guest spots on Evening at the Improv and the one on Fox. What was it called?
Comic Strip Live.
Yep, Comic Strip Live. I loved Comic Strip Live.
Yeah.
And I did a bunch of those, but I could never, let's see, Seinfeld had the specials on HBO and Foxworthy, and I'm like, I'm selling as many tickets in clubs as these guys, but I can't get any bigger. And then finally, and then Carson left, and then I wasn't on with Leno very much, just a few times. And then my ticket sales started to go down. But with my family and my 3 daughters, all little, we'd done what everybody does, that mistake when you're coming up. We'd spin ourselves to the biggest houses, the biggest cars, private schools, because you think that money is going to keep coming in like that. And guess what? It's probably not going to.
Yeah.
And so things started to go down a little bit. And it's not that I wanted to quit. It's that I think I'm going to have to downsize my life a little bit, because it looks like I'm going to be doing comedy clubs and corporate gigs, small corporate gigs for the rest of my life. And then it took my management going to Comedy Central and saying, will you do a special? And they're like, no, we don't want him. He's not our brand. So I took the bull by the horns, because I really believed this would happen. They wouldn't pay for it, so I paid for it. I paid for my special myself. It was $120,000 or something. We shot it in Santa Ana, and then my manager went to Comedy Central, and they said, will you please take this? And they said, oh my gosh, what else do you have for us? So my management did that deal where they said, we'll give you this guy if you'll play Dunham's special. And they said, we'll play it one time on a Friday night. That's it. And they said, okay. So we called on the next Monday morning, what are the ratings? And the exact words were, we think there's been some kind of mistake. We'll get back to you.
Wow.
And it was just that grassroots of doing comedy clubs for 18 years that everybody tuned in.
That's great, man.
And then that's when they ordered the second special, and that's when I brought out Achmed, and then it was just goofy fun after that.
Congrats, man. I didn't know that. I didn't know you paid for your first special. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah. But
That's
going
so
back to the
cool.
earlier years, there were those times when I'd walk into a comedy club in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and there'd be epitaphs written on the wall saying Jeff Dunham sucks and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man.
Really?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And so right around 2000, you were just like, you know what? You're a little frustrated, and then you tapped into your own bank account and were like, I'm gonna bet on myself.
Yeah,
and
that was
then,
around 2005. Yeah, 2006. Yeah.
And thank God you did that, man. That's such a great. A lot of people don't do that, huh? A lot of people don't want to invest in themselves. They just want to complain about why they're not getting what everyone else is getting instead of just investing in themselves. And that's what you did.
Well, I believe that you got to spend money to make money, and
100.
I've always heard that too, that you can't spend enough money on yourself, when you're building that business. And I look at it like Apple. You talk about it going on forever, and my 15 minutes of fame has gone on longer than anybody ever would have dreamed. And I think it's because I try and approach it like a business, and I think Steve Jobs did that. He created those things that you didn't know you needed. And when you walked into that store or got a catalog or whatever it was back then, before the stores, when Apple would come out with products, you knew you were getting a quality product. And then they would give you something a little bit extra where you go, oh man, I'm going to keep coming back.
Yes.
And so I do the same thing. It's like, when they come to the show, I make sure they get what they want. They see the characters that they're familiar with. I do a few of the greatest hits, and then I throw in something new and something extra. And I think that keeps people coming back. You always have to have new stuff, but you also have to do some of the greatest hits. You don't want to go see, the Rolling Stones and they don't play whatever song you like. You know what I mean? You got to hear the hits. But then if it's only the hits, you're like, they're not growing, are they?
Yeah. We already saw this, and we could just watch this on Comedy Central. So this will be the last time.
Yeah, it's a little bit, but it's a little bit like going to Disneyland. If Disneyland didn't keep coming out with new rides and new attractions, you'd go one time, it'd be great. Second time, well, this is fun. Third time, okay.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just eat the clam chowder the third time. Okay.
Or have the turkey leg.
Yeah, the turkey leg and the Mickey Mouse pretzel. I'm good. I'm not doing the rides. I can't do the rides anyway, by the way. So I don't know how you're going to do this with your 5-year-olds. I just don't know how you're doing it.
Wait a minute. How old are you?
I'm 50.
Oh, I'm 58. I still do the rides.
Oh, I can't, man. I almost passed out on Goliath with my son. My son's like, this is great. And I was like this. I was out.
That's Six Flags, right?
Yeah. Yes.
That's extreme. You went on Goliath?
Yeah, I went on Goliath. And I won't do it again. I'm done.
What's Goliath? What does it do?
It's just the big giant roller coaster that loops, and it's dumb. It's just dumb. I'm 50 now. I get it. I passed out. Jeff, I literally blacked out with my son. Do you know how humiliating that is?
So do you ever think about what's her name when you say you're 50? What's her name on SNL that used to kick her leg and go, I'm 50? Do you remember that?
Oh God, what was her? Yes, I know who you're talking about. Oh, why don't I know it right now? I'm the worst with names. What is her
me
name?
Too. I don't remember. But it was
50.
Yeah, and she'd kick, and it was like just horrible. And I remember when I was not 50, was in my 40s, was like, oh man, that'd be awful to be 50.
Yeah, here you are.
That's right.
Here you are, 50 years old in a warehouse, packing your merch and taking Polaroid shots.
That's right.
50.
58.
50. Oh, 58. Wow. Damn, you look good, Jeff.
Great, man.
Oh, it's the light. So I can't wait. 60, I don't know, man. 60, just like, really? Who's going to pay attention to me? Yeah, it's just awful.
You know what's going to be cool? When you finally morph into Walter.
Well, see, that's the joke that I make. When I came up with Walter.
Do?
Oh, no, see, I came up with him when I was in college, and it made sense because here's this old man making fun of this young guy who didn't have any dates, no girlfriend, you know what I mean? Played with dolls. And so but the act grew. And then it was like, then he'd make fun of me for getting married. Then he made fun of me for having kids. Then he made fun of me for getting divorced. Then he made fun of me for getting married again. And now, I've always said that he was 64 years old. So he hasn't aged. And now we're going to be like the freaking Sunshine Boys.
Oh, it's going to be great.
Oh, and then I'm going to be older than him. Then what do I do?
Then you got to make fun of him. Now you become Walter. That's great, man. When are you going to come out with Funko of the characters?
Well, that
Walter and Peanut.
But they wanted, they did that, and then the Walter one, the one with me and Walter, that's going to be coming out in the spring, I think.
Oh, that's so cool, man.
Oh, and you know what happened when we came out with these is when COVID hit.
Yes, yep, that's what happened with me.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was amazing.
It wasn't great for us because
go get shots. I had to get shots right here. I don't even know what this muscle's called. It locked up on me from signing.
Oh, do you know how many you signed?
We're close to 20,000 right now. Nothing near yours.
Holy crap!
No, don't even. Don't start with me.
No, that's great. Did you really sign?
Hey Jeff, I'm not in my warehouse right now packing stuff. Slow down, bro.
But that's amazing. That's really great. I signed 10,000. But on tour is where they're going to sell, I think.
Yeah, on tour is where it's going to sell. I was on the road again in Arizona, and we sold a ton of these, man. We couldn't even hold them. Yeah, we couldn't even hold them.
That's great. And then, and how much are yours?
Okay, Jeff, that's private.
No, we do.
All right, yeah, you're right. I think it's $20 or $25 without a signature, and then it's $160 with a signature.
That's genius.
Yeah. So for $25, no signature, with a signature and a Polaroid picture, $3,000. It's amazing.
Hold on, looks like I can get an autographed bundle. I can get your T-shirt and a Funko Pop.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, that's not bad. Okay, so a signed one and an autographed T-shirt. Wait, autographed bundle T-shirt. Do you sign the T-shirt too?
No, just the Funko.
All right, that's a great statue. You standing there holding the mic. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's great. All right, $69. Not bad. All right,
thank you, man. Here's something else.
Hold on, just the Funko Pop is $19.
Oh, there you go, $19. I told you.
Very nice.
I keep it fan friendly.
You know what's funny when you do the Funko Pops? People don't know this. They make you stand there and take photographs. And you have to have for what?
That's not my head. Why'd we stand there? Why?
Yeah, they know all white people look the same. What?
Why do you look like a young Captain Kirk? Hey, Jeff, pull up Star Trek and look at. They have a Star Trek one. I guarantee they use what's his name? What's that actor's name? Yeah, Captain Kirk. What is his name in real life?
Kirk.
Hold on, Captain Kirk.
Jesus, are we idiots? Are we the three idiots?
No. Hold on a second.
What's his name?
William Shatner.
William Shatner.
Funko Pop.
I'm pretty sure you look just like William Shatner Funko Pop. It's exactly the same. They just put a yellow shirt on his.
You know, the only difference is
that's you. That's you right there. That's Jeff Dunham.
His is slightly cooler. I'm holding a doll. He's holding a taser.
Yeah, he's holding a laser. Look at it. That's Jeff
Not a
Dunham
laser
right there.
Not a laser, a taser.
Oh, taser.
Yeah. That's
really
there
he
funny.
is. There's William Shatner. Hey, Jeff.
Really funny.
Hey, Jeff, can you hold me that William Shatner doll holding Peanut?
There it is. Wow. That's just sad.
Dude, you're amazing.
Hold on. You
what?
know who else?
Who?
What's his name with Chewie? Han Solo. Han
Solo. What's his name?
Harrison Ford. Hold on. Oh, there's one difference. His hair's parted down the middle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was parted down the middle. Wait, you're looking up really Star Wars, though. You got to look up Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Indiana Jones.
They probably put a hat on his.
Yeah, probably. That's really funny.
Dude, this is so funny.
Hold on. Okay. Yeah, he's got a hat on. Boo.
Ah, boo. Boring.
Wait, think of some chick. I bet it looks the same as some chick with short hair.
Oh man, who would be a good one? Courtney Cox.
You think Courtney Cox has a Funko Pop?
Friends. I think they have the Friends.
Really?
Do they have a Friends Funko Pop? I swear to God, Funko Pop has everybody. Do they have a Friends?
Feel bad. All right, she looks good. Oh, you
what?
got the whole
They have one?
They do have
I told you.
Yeah. Courtney Cox, yeah, oh my God, that's really funny. Yeah, they got the Friends. Oh, and it's signed. I can get it signed for $600.
What?
Yeah, $600.
I knew I wasn't overcharging.
Well, that's on eBay. Maybe that's
okay.
Wow. Oh, she put a heart with her signature.
Oh, I don't do that anymore. I used to.
No, you did not.
I just put a circle around that. No, I never put a heart. Jeff, right. I'm signing this one and I'm sending it to you.
Well, I'll get my wife to send you one too.
Wait, no, I want a signature.
What?
I want a signature. I want you to sign it.
That's what I said. I'll get my wife to send you one, but I'll sign it.
Oh, I thought you said I'm going to get my wife to sign it and send it to you.
No, I don't do that.
Signed by Mrs. Dunham.
Yeah. In fact, I'll do the one that we used on the air or on the.
What do you call that one?
Online.
Yeah, we can call this on the pod air.
All right, cool.
Dude, I love you, man. You're amazing. You're a success story. Like, you're a perfect example of, it's not going to happen unless you make it happen. And I love that gem that you said. You got to live it to live it. And that's very true. I also like the other gem that you said. Airplanes that carry, the big airplanes that carry a lot of stuff need longer runways. And I for years, that's how I felt, man. I knew I was rising, but I just felt like there was a lot more that I had to sell and show, and like they haven't seen it all. I got it. Just it's coming. My runway was longer, and a lot of people don't realize that, man. You know what I mean?
Well,
sometimes we have longer runways. Sometimes we have a short runway. Some people have helicopters that just take off. So I love that.
It's great if you can have the mental attitude of being your own biggest fan. If you believe in yourself more than anyone else, then I believe it's going to happen. It's those people that require being pushed that can happen too. But if somebody can just develop that mental attitude of, I know I can do this, I believe I can do this, I'll make this happen. I just think that's really a healthy thing and a difficult thing for some people to come to, but you can get there, I think.
Man, you're amazing. You deserve everything that's happening. There's a reason why you have a warehouse and your wife is working.
Thanks. Well, I'm going to go back to it right now.
Yeah, you're awesome, man. And everyone, please, you already know who he is, but if you don't, watch and really appreciate the art form. Because when I saw that documentary, that mini doc that you put out, it made me appreciate you even more, man. So I love you. God bless you. And thank you for joining the Koy Pond, man. Love you, Jeff.
All right. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Andre. Good chatting with you guys.
Bye.